I remember one time when I actually went for I wanted to go for a course, right? When I applied for the course, most people that were working there that came for that exam, they're already working in the hospital. So we now went to submit our results to the woman, to like the HOD. She was now asking that, where are you working? Everybody is just mentioning hospital. I was like, hey, me. I was the only one that was not working in the hospital. She asked, so it got to my turn. She asked me, which hospital am I where am I working? I said, no, I'm not working anywhere. I just traveled down here to come and write the exam. She was like, how did I know about this course? I was like, I made research about it. I got it on Google, I made research about it, and I was able to, and that alone was able to convince her. So even people that they were working in the hospital, that they have the experience, now me still score highest. I say, now me still score highest mark. I had the highest score than people that they were even working in that department, and that was because I made my research on Google. I studied for the exam. I studied for the course. So the only thing that she was trying to ask that I'm not working in the hospital. How did I hear about this course? And this course is not a popular one. People don't know about it. So how did you know about it? So I was able to tell her that I made my research. I saw it on Google. As you can see, my results can speak for itself. So I saw it on Google. I even said Google, though, without laughing that day. It's Google. It's Google. You see, in that way, I was already able to actually convince her. She never asked me about my background. She never asked me if I have study gap. She never asked me if what were you doing before. She never. That way alone, I was able to convince her with my score and with how I actually found out about the course. So even when you're actually going for masters or anything, don't just because academics said they apply for direct masters, just send the application. Welcome back again to my YouTube channel. So I'm talking about UK university that actually accepts third class or HND for direct masters. I know I made a video before now about UK universities that actually accept for masters, but in that view, most of those universities actually accept for maybe like you do a pre-masters, a top-up program or anything. Who has time to be doing pre-masters or top-up? No. Who has that time? Please, let's go directly to the point. So UK is one of those countries that actually give opportunity to, as long as you have your money. So this list of universities that actually offer direct masters, they will not come and tell you no pre-masters, no top-up program, no 1 year clinical, no anything. You do your, so if you have third class or if you have HND, even if you have ND, if you have ND, I'm saying some things in the video. If you have HND, if you have diploma, if you have HND, diploma, third class, any condition that you did, they offer direct masters. So the first on my list does not mean that's the first one, but the first on my list is Edinburgh Napier University. So the next one is Cardiff Metropolitan University. The next one is West Scotland. The next one is Robert Gordon University. The next one is Hertfordshire University. University of Hertfordshire. The next one is University of Wolverhampton. The next one is University of Ulster. Next one is Sheffield Hallam University. The next one is Swansea University. The next one is West England University. The next one is University of Bedfordshire. The next one is South Wales University. The next one is London Metropolitan University. And then the last but not the least is Sunderland University. So there's Sunderland University. So there's like a small distance today. So these universities, right, they actually offer direct masters, but most times, every time, like I said in my video, how to actually apply for masters with your diploma, with your HND, with your ONDEs, you having relevant experience. So if you're actually a fresh graduate, fresh with your diploma, you might not be able to get it unless you've had previous qualifications or previous experience or volunteer experience. They actually request you to actually have experience in relevant field. So is that experience we actually used to cover up for, you know. And another thing is, some of these university as well, the course they might actually give you for your direct masters, it might actually be like a limited restricted course. Maybe if you want to do this course, it's not available, depending. And another thing they will consider, they might want to consider again, is your grade. Maybe for people with masters, sorry, with diploma, with HND, they might want to consider your grade. So depending. So but overall, you can always negotiate with the university. And like I used to say, even in UK, right, admission is not general, it is individual based. It is based on individual qualifications, individual criteria, individual this thing. So if you're able to convince them that you're ready to actually go for masters. For example, somebody like me now, I actually have a food channel that is actually 5 years old. So let's say I just had a diploma and then I want to go for masters in food something, and then you're asking me that why do I want to come for masters and all of that. I have good reason. Like the way you'll be doing interview with them, like you should be able to, what I'm trying to say is, you be able to give them a reason, that convince them that you do well in your with the masters, right? And you have to be able to prove that and you have to be able to prove or show that the benefits that masters will actually do for you in your relevant field, in your career path, in your relevant field, where you are going for it, why you picked the school, why you picked UK, you know, those inspirational things. So don't just say because I say they accept for direct master and then you're gonna say, oh yeah, take direct master. No, you have to firstly align your career goals. Why am I going for masters? Why do I need a master's? For example, if you had a diploma or a OND in Nigeria and you're going for masters, if they ask why are you going for master, why can't you go for BSc and everything? So you can try to feel like, I have experience, I have like 1 year experience or 2 years experience. So instead of going to school for BSc for this, which is more like a waste of time, and according to my research, masters is more like a research work, and research work is based on experience and all of that, which is the experience that I have had in my relevant field. For example, depending on what for example, let's talk about nursing, right, or care job or this thing. For example, in the experience I had in the hospital, when you're talking about, you should make experience in that relevant field. Like, let them know that you know what you're talking about. So you would have made research about the masters you want to do as well. So for example, if I want to do masters in care job, so you can say there's actually a research in masters that actually deal with caring for dementia patient. So when I was in the hospital clinical, you should relate it to your real life experience. So in that video, know that okay, you know what you're doing. So aside you having the experience, and aside that, you might not even have the experience, but you should be able to convince. Imagine somebody like me that actually does research. Like, I make videos from Nigeria, right? I've not been to this country. So imagine if I actually want to go to a country now, they're asking me that why should they give me the visa? I'm like, you know that I've been talking about this country with just making research on Google. I've not been to this country, so it will actually be my clinical to go to this country to know how it looks like, to give my viewers more something like that and everything. And really, when they see my work, wow, if you're talking about our country, you're like, oh yeah, take visa, something like that. So you have to make your research about the masters, even if you don't have the experience. Like I told you, usually this course will take you mostly when you have experience in relevant field. But even if you don't have experience, maybe you are somebody that you do research very well, you know what they're talking about, right? You can actually get, because I've told you, most times admission is based on individual. Don't have, even when you check admission requirement, WAEC results, this one, that one, everything, just so that they're not talking, that's just like the general requirement. They're not talking to everybody. Admission is individual based. Individual have their own experience, they have their own they have their own experience, they have their own qualification, they have their own this thing. So your own is to actually convince the your professor, your lecturer, or the person that wants to admit it that you actually know what you're actually coming into. Do you understand that? I remember one time when I actually went for I wanted to go for your course, right? When I applied for the course, most people that were working there, that came for that exam, they're already working in the hospital. So we now went to submit our results to the woman, to like the HOD. She was not asking that, where are you working? Everybody's just mentioning hospital. So I was like, hey, Egbami. I was the only one that was not working in the hospital. She asked, so it got to my turn. She asked me, which hospital am I? Where am I working? I said, no, I'm not working anywhere. I just traveled down here to come and write the exam. She was like, how did I know about this course? I was like, I made research about it. I got it on Google. I made research about it, and I was able to, and that alone was able to convince her. So even people that they were working in the hospital, that they have the experience, now me still score highest. I say, now me still score highest mark. I had the highest score than people that they were even working in that department, and that was because I made my research on Google. I studied for the exam. I studied for the course. So the only thing that she was trying to ask that I'm not working in the hospital. How did I hear about this course? And this course is not a popular one. People don't know about it. So how did you know about it? So I was able to tell her that I made my research. I saw it on Google. As you can see, my results can speak for itself. So I saw it on Google. I even said Google, though, not laughing that day. It's Google. It's Google. You see, in that way, I was already able to actually convince her. She never asked me about my background. She never asked me if I have study gap. She never asked me if what were you doing before. She never. That way alone, I was able to convince her with my score and with how I actually found out about the course. So even when you're actually going for masters or anything, don't just because Ashidemi said they apply for direct master, just send the application and that's it. No, you have to make your research about that course you want to go for. Why you want to go for the course? Why you not be going for BSc? Why you don't want to go for HND? Why you don't want to go? Why do you want to go for masters? Why do you want to cut corners? Do you understand that? So you just have to prepare for it. But trust me, it is possible. So even if you don't have the experience, I'm using myself as an example. When I did the course, I didn't have the experience. The only thing I did was I just studied it. So even when you want to apply for masters or anything, we have so many free materials online that you can answer. So even if you don't have experience in the relevant field and you've done a lot of courses, you've done a lot of clinical, though they might want to prefer physical experience, but that's why I told you that admission is individual based. I've made myself as an example. You know that me, I like to be realistic as it is individual based. Okay, after you finish your diploma, after you finish your third class, what have you been doing? Even if you might not apply now, you can dedicate 1 or 2 months or this to do certificate courses. You can take them certificate courses you've done to actually improve your knowledge in that relevant field. That way, they will know, this thing. No. So, assuming when I went to submit the result to that woman, if she was to ask us question, I know that I'll still get it than people that is even working in the hospital, because they'll feel like they are working in the hospital. Why did they have to study? So it's me that didn't even work there. Go to work first. Do you guys understand? So admission is actually individual based. There is no general requirement for it. Don't say, oh, they did not give this guy because clinical did not give this guy. Your own is ability to be able to convince them. Are you able to convince me that this is what you're going for? Be able to convince them that this is what you want, this is what you're going for, this is why you want to go for it, this is why you picked UK, this is why you picked this school, this is why. And once you can sort out your this is why, are you in boldly? It is in Africa that they'll say, nah, you have to have 1 million qualification. As long as you're able to, the best thing is convincing. You don't have to lie. And that's why it's important to sit down, to set your goals, analyze them as according to listen. So guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.